What's up, guys? Um, I'll probably just use this setup since I'm just sitting at the computer so much. I have redone my room. As you can see, there's some stuff, like a lot of stuff taken off back here across my room. I have just removed. I put books over here, but I've removed so much of the things. I was really experiencing some like I'd come into my room and then I'd be like, I need to work, and then I would like my room is too busy, and I would get out of my room when I'm like, dude, I have a whole like desk set up to work. Like, what has happened? And I just had clutter and things build up. So I took a day and I emptied like two closets and literally just pulled everything out and was like, I need to take inventory, trash what I need to trash, and just feel like everything is dialed in like around me. So it feels pretty freaking dialed in, which is great. Um, my desk is like there's like nothing on it. I like just took out even decorations. Like my decorations are super minor, and most of them are functional. So, anyways, I've talked about doing social media content for so long. I actually shot this Saturday content, and I really don't like the editing part. So I think I might have one of my VAs for the cleaning business take on the editing like workload and kill two birds with one stone. Depends on how busy they already are. Um, Cleaning business is doing well. Like I think we finished the month off at like 18.9 or something like that. I want to say like I can just pull it up here actually. Nineteen. 19 and $7. So um yeah, dope, super dope. This month I think we crashed through 20. I think even though we crashed through 20, our margins are a lower percent, and we may even make less profit wise just because we have um, like almost doubled our expenses. One being that we're spending a lot more money in marketing. I kind of had like an epiphany as I was talking to someone else that I was like, if I could go back and redo things, I would not focus on being in the green in the first 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Like I would eat it, and I would continue to dump money into marketing, because what happened was I we spent so much money in the beginning, and then we were like, oh crap, we need to make that money back, and we stopped spending money on marketing, and we held on to all the clients that we got from our initial marketing and let money roll in, and they're like, all right, now we can start spending again. If we hadn't done that and kept spending, 3, 4 grand a month from the get go on marketing, we would have a business probably double, maybe even more than double the size that we have right now. So now we're just like, look, I want to be profitable, obviously, but everybody wants to be profitable, but profitable is not the end all be all in the beginning. In fact, it's better to invest, like reinvest literally everything, and even pull out a loan to spend money that's going to make you money down the line. So, we are spending as much money as we can smartly to, in 3 months, be way ahead of where we would be otherwise. And in 6 months, be looking at not making the same mistake that we did before, right? So, yeah, this month might not be great. In fact, we might be just above break even, and next month might look the same. But the month after that, like, it's looking nice. And we know that if we cut our marketing and we cut the uh, things that we like, if we wanted to cut back and optimize, I guess what I'm saying is we're no longer optimizing for short-term profit. We're optimizing for passive passive yet aggressive growth. And passive means that I'm not as involved and Elijah's not involved. Like we haven't like hardly touched the cleaning business in like a week and a half, other than checking in, making sure our people are good, like our VAs are good, and doing payroll. Um, if we wanted to optimize for max profits, we would be involved in taking the sales calls and double dialing, and calling people back even when they say no to our team, and figuring out why, and like going through the pipeline and touching every like, because our close rates are going to be higher than our VA's close rates, right? But we're not optimizing for that. We're optimizing for passive, and we're optimizing not for profit this month, but profit 6 months from now, and not just profit, but a lot, right? So yeah, we've changed our perspective on that. We definitely have. I think it's also changed my perspective on numbers and business in general. It's a very widespread delusion, an ego thing, when people are, I've got a 6-figure the business, or I've got 7 figures, we hit 8. What people don't tell you is that the numbers don't matter. Like, if I wanted to start everything over right now, I could have a 6-figure business within like 30 days. Like, 6 figures just being that you do 6 figures, $100,000 revenue in a year. That's like 8,400 a month, 8,500 a month. We did like 6,000 our first month, and we had no idea what we were doing. So now, knowing what we're doing, like, we could do 10,000 our first month. But it would take, once again, what does that even mean revenue wise? Because it would take probably $4,000, $5,000 in marketing to do that, and then we'd be negative, because we'd have $10,000 in bookings. We spent $5,000 to get it. We paid our cleaners $5,500 or $6,000 to do it, not including sales tax. Like, we're negative. Like, what does that even mean? Like, what's the point of that, right? Like, I think, like, from today to 12 months from now, I think we'll do closer to $500,000 than we will $250,000. And that sounds like oh my gosh, $500,000, right? But what does that mean? Like, what does $500,000 mean if I'm negative? What does $500,000 mean if I'm at 10% margins? What does $500,000 mean if I'm on 80% margins? What's $500,000 mean if I'm working 70-hour weeks and I have a partner and we're both $50,000 in debt to have this $500,000 business, right? Or 7-figure business, or 8-figure business? Like, it's vanity, right? It's like, I hate it. And that's why the people that are like kind of getting my attention on social media that are business people are like, it's a $30,000 a month business, but I work 4 hours a week, and it's 70% margins. I'm like, I'm interested in that. I'm very much interested in that. Or I'm interested in, like, it's not even the number of the, like, you could be a 7-figure business, but you got 10% margins. Like, I'd rather take the 6-figure business, the $250,000 business, but they got 70% margins, right? Like, if we run those numbers, 70% margins on a $250,000 business is 175. 10% margins on $1 million business is only 100. It's a big difference, right? And it's so much easier to run a $250,000 revenue business than one that is 4 times the revenue, right? I'd rather anyways, so that's been on my mind lately too. So what have I been doing the past week? I think I missed like 2-3 days. I've been taking weekends off from doing videos, but I think I'm gonna get back to that. I have been honestly just purposefully taking a step back. Like, my one goal, like two of the days was like, I now have turned off all notifications for calls from the business. I've turned off notifications for incoming leads, for bookings, for cancellations. All communication is through Discord, both with our VAs and with our cleaners. And I should just kind of check on the reports, get end of day reports. And if I am absolutely needed within like a immediate time period, then they will give me a call. But in the past, like, week, they've given me 2 calls across that time. And they were good. Even if I hadn't answered, like, they would have been fine. Like, they would have been good. So that's been cool. We've been working on the fun. Like, me and Elijah have been like, all right, like, The legal papers are getting drafted. We need a pitch deck. We need a website. We need all these things. And we're going to ChatGPT and we're like reading and trying to figure things out and realizing, holy smokes, dude, like we really don't know jack about jack. We are out of our depth, like completely out of our depth. When it comes to financial literacy, I'd say, and specific terms and technical terms when it comes to evaluating investments. As far as good business decisions, and like if I was able to sit in a room and have someone that has the time and is okay with me not really knowing the technical terms, but will explain things to me in layman's terms, and we'll get through a conversation, like, be totally fine, right? But if I'm going to approach investors with expertise and not advise, but pitch an investment, then there has to be a level of expertise. There has to be a level of we're able to speak the same language. So, although I don't know how much of actually talking to investors I would be doing, right? Like, the idea is to essentially pimp out my mentor who has managed multiple funds successfully and do all the back end, and our faces are never seen, but we have, equity, and we really are more on the like managing the fund and everything up until, okay, we need someone to pitch the investors. I think that's kind of what our role is in this, is everything except shaking hands and talking to the investors, also the initial like product vetting, and of course overriding strategy, and like just oversight and actual confirmation, and going, this is what we're going to do, all that being approved by Pete, our mentor. But it's a lot, right? It's a lot if you get into the technicals and into the details and into the weeds. And Pete was very specifically like, I don't want you to get too into the details and into the weeds on this. And me just being stubborn, I'm just like, I have to. Like, if I'm really seeing this as like the next 3 years, the next 5 years, the next 10 years, I have to be in the weeds. At least that's the way I see it, right? But I should probably listen to my mentor. But what prompted me to get into the weeds, I guess, is creating a pitch deck going, man, I don't even know how to present this thing in a way. Like, I don't know what they're even looking for in the pitch deck, the investors specifically, right? Like, I can talk in layman's terms. I can talk about benefits and desires and the problems it solves and how it's different and why it's a good choice compared to other things. But I can't, like, I don't know what IRR means, I don't know how that differentiates from cash on cash. I don't know how that differentiates from, like, there's, you get what I'm saying? Like, there's specific technical things. So, trying to learn. Today I was like at Barnes & Noble and was just reading and just listening to like Khan Academy and going through capital markets, finance, and formulas, actually, like equations for calculating returns and present value and future value and just compound interest. And I just feel like there's foundational things that I want to be aware of that other people are very aware of, and don't want to be caught with my pants down, basically. So, yeah. What would probably be more helpful for me, if I'm being honest, would just be to evaluate a bunch of pitch decks and pull what I like and leave what I don't like and create ours. That would be more helpful. But at the same time, I feel like I'm missing such a foundation. Like, I spent 45 minutes just figuring out what bonds were. Like, why does the Fed like cut or hike rates? Like, I didn't know any of that. I wouldn't even say right now I understand it to its fullest, obviously. I would definitely say I don't understand it to its fullest. I had an interesting kind of like internal, like, why did that change things for me? But I took like an IQ test, right? But it's like an online IQ test, so it's like, what's the actual validity to it? But it was above 140, and I think like Mensa's, pretty sure Mensa's like 130. 130 is top 2%. And I did, like, I was in like gifted programs and did like IQ test stuff when I was a kid, and it was like, your scores are off the charts. But like every parent and everyone says that to their kids, right? Like, it's off the charts, like, you're so smart, like. But I remember like I was actually put in programs and get carted off to a different school and stuff, which was, it was the best learning ever. We were doing like algebra in second grade, and it was a great time. But for some reason, doing the test yesterday, like, kind of validated, not validated, kind of validated, but it kind of made me feel like, Alex, of course you feel like different. Like, of course you feel weird. Of course you feel out of place. Like, of course, like, there's anomalies that happen to you. Of course, like, you are an anomaly. So like, it's not strange that there are events that are anomalies around you. Like, people don't get the opportunities that you get because people aren't the person that you are. People don't get the chances that you have because, like, only 1% of people ever, maybe 0.1%, but also, like, would get that chance, right? But also, like, you are the 0.1% that would get it. And so it's given me almost a bit of like head high, shoulders back, chest out, like, you got this, dude. You got this. Like, you are prepared to deal with the hard things. You are capable of being thrown into situations, and the history, like, proves that over and over and over. And those weren't like flukes. It'd be clear if those were flukes, right? It'd be clear if the situations that you've been in that nobody else, I say nobody else, but like, it's unreal that you had the opportunity for, like, if you weren't ready for it and if you weren't capable of it, it wouldn't be given to you. And if you didn't crush it, then you wouldn't have been congratulated and handsomely rewarded for it. So good ups, you know? Just kind of like giving myself like the pat on the back because I don't have the people around, I don't have the community around that recognizes it, I don't have the support or whatever it is that, yeah, like, if I was like living in a house full of like dudes that are on fire, like, love the Lord and love each other well and are business people that are smart, like, dude, we'd be celebrating, we'd be going out, we'd be like having conversations, we'd be getting deep into it. But it means nothing, right, to like my friends or to the people I'm currently around or my parents even. Not that that means anything other than remembering that I'm holding a golden lottery ticket that's a winner, but nobody else around knows it because they can't read. Like, I'm holding something worth millions of dollars, and like, it's like an antique, and nobody is an antique collector around me and has the eyes to see it, right? So how can I blame them? Like, why would I be upset with them? Like, it would be silly for me to expect that from them. So I feel like another thing that's been big for me lately is realizing like how much I care about other people's perception. It's pretty absurd. I think it's the biggest reason I've stopped or not posted on social media, that I don't want to look like a goober, and I'm going to look like a goober. And as long as I don't look like a goober in a way that permanently or irreversibly affects me in a negative way, then I'm okay looking like a goober, you know? Yeah, right now it's a lot of researching, a lot of having conversations, a lot of calling people, talking to like other fund managers. Like, I spent an hour talking to um, this guy Walker, who I met in a barbershop and just happened to hear him talking, and he's an investor and has been a GP and a real estate fund, and talked to him for an hour. He loves the Lord, and there's so much like wisdom to get from that. And talking to an old pastor and getting his thoughts and understanding, and talking to people like close that work closely with like fundraising and nonprofits and ministries. So yeah, a lot of learning. I think right now I'm a student. I'm very much a student. Um, Besides that, I feel like I've been dealing with like a lot of anger, to be honest with you. Um, I think it's just my environment and me allowing my environment to like set the tone instead of me setting the tone, regardless of the environment. It's really easy to like work hard and want to be done with everything, and then like want to rest and come back to a place that's quiet and peaceful and comfort, and um, not and be really upset about it and be frustrated and be angry and be irritated and feel shifty, you know. Um, so for a multitude of reasons, like it's been tough, right? Like family has its issues. Um, so you know, even though it's not the smartest financial decision, like I've been like, man, I really want to get out. Um, my mental health and my desire to live and joy just increases um, when I have a home that I look forward to coming home to. So I feel like I'm weighing out like the financial burden, but the mental like alleviation, and the mental burden, but the financial alleviation of not having to pay for rent or go and move everything and furnish an apartment or a house, or go to a new place. Yeah, I pay for that with mental, or I could pay with the financial and yet be alleviated mentally. And I just have to trust that I feel like I'm making the right decision by staying where I am at the moment, and that there's pressure is making diamonds, so there's something to be learned, and there's a warrior a spirit in me that's just not willing to that likes the fight, that likes the battle, that looks forward to being sharpened by the constant opposition. So been reading a lot of war books still, a lot of autobiographies. I'm loving it. Dreams are a bit gory, but we'll take that. I ran 3 miles. I don't remember when. I thought I was going to run yesterday and the day before. I haven't. I might go run tonight, just kind of depending on how I feel. There's this weird thing going on with my sleep where I'm falling asleep at like 11:30. I'm waking up at like 5:30, and I am ready to go. I'm wide awake. Like I am like I could take off, and like I feel like I could go immediately, but I'm like, it's 5 in the morning. Like I should sleep more. Like I haven't slept much. And then I go back to sleep, and then I wake up and I feel like the sleep hangover, and I'm like, ugh, I should have got up earlier. So I told myself that yesterday that I was gonna, like, if I wake up again, but I think today is like I think I need to wake up, because otherwise my day just isn't as enjoyable. I don't start the morning off as strong. I remember having done it before, and it felt better to wake up whenever I initially woke up. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of reading. I think I want to share like books and like what I learned here, just in general, like philosophy or personal development, self development. Um, and I was like, man, I need to go read a new book though. And I'm like, dude, like, I have so many books I have read and have literally wrote essays about, and like done active recall, so I like learn it well, and I've made notes in the book, and like, what am I doing? Like, why am I not just sharing what I already have? So that's an easy like on ramp, right? Um, I don't know what I see or like what I envision is there's like fun and just trend, but just kind of like fun. I'm messing around reels and content on social media. There's more deep content, like pulling pieces of these kind of talks. Not these as much as like I'm teaching about something, because teaching is the best way to learn. And I see content that's just kind of daily, like here's what's going on in my life, like lifestyle, like that sort of thing. Sharing thoughts and writings. I see that feeding into a community, like on Discord. I see like just streaming of like quiet study time, or like just hanging out with friends, like jumping on. Like I'd be so like down to like just jump on a server right now and like hang out with the boys or play a game for an hour or whatever, or talk, or talk about Jesus. I love talking about Jesus, so just having like a games and Jesus or something, and on YouTube going into deeper stuff, or more like day in the life, or like when I eventually travel and get to do stuff like that, or events, or sharing stuff from books. Creative stuff, man. I really love doing like my creative, like artistic, like sharing a thought, an idea in like a cinematic way, cinematic in a scripted and planned shots, and for maximum dramatic emotional effect, where you don't forget what you've watched. For instance, like the word Ebenezer. Ebenezer, specifically the definition being, I don't want to butcher it. Ebenezer means stone. Ebenezer means stone of help. It's a biblical term for a memorial stone erected to commemorate a mighty act that God did. It's a tangible reminder of God's power and protection in the past, with the hope of his continued support. So being able to create like something about what that means, and like that's something you can use and we can implement. I think I said it in the past, but I came up with this motto or term of bring rituals back. I think rituals are a good thing, used in the right way. I think a lot of religion is very useful when used in the right context. When it's done without the heart, or without like it's meant to be used as a tool, right? Like there's no point in like just swinging around a hammer, but a hammer is so useful when you need to nail something in, and so there's so many tools like meditation, or like just time alone in prayer, and like an hour in the closet with God, or gratitude, or journaling, or this or that. But like if you're missing the essential core of it, which is a relationship and a connecting to and already having your place as a son or daughter of God established, if you do it without knowing that you're established, you've been made righteous, that you are with God, unified in spirit, you're still trying to strive, or like get somewhere, or get something done, or do something for God in a performance rather than out of a love and response and worship, then yeah, it sounds terrible, to go pray more, or to intercede, or those things. So anyways, bring rituals back. Like I think John the Baptist, there was like a sect of people that would baptize themselves daily as a symbolic thing, right? And it's like, imagine like the church was like, we need to baptize ourselves daily or wash ourselves with water, and you didn't realize that it was a beautiful way to connect with God. It was like an on-ramp to connecting with God, and washing yourself every single day as if sin and everything is just washed again, like almost like the, yeah. Anyways, so but yeah, sorry, I just haven't been posting the past like 2 days. I think I might miss Friday too. Um, I didn't start this to just to do it for a little while. I didn't start this because of um, results or because a certain amount of eyeballs or because there's monetary value, but I did this out of just for the purpose of documentation, and I can't lose sight of that, right? Like, this is a journal. I feel like I wrote recently. I used to write every night, and it was amazing. And yeah, I think that's what I do when I stop recording here. I think I'm just gonna write. I haven't wrote like in an organized way like I used to. So, anyways, love you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Yeah, deuces.